My millionaire son asked me one question on Mother's Day, and within seconds his wife lost everything. At first everyone laughed. Then I answered. And the silence that followed exposed a 6-year betrayal nobody saw coming. My name is Margaret Whitmore. I am 72 years old, and until that Mother's Day dinner, I believed my family was built on trust. I had spent my entire life working hard, raising my son Jason after his father passed away, and doing everything possible to give him a better future. Watching him become a successful businessman was one of the proudest achievements of my life. Jason was wealthy beyond anything I had ever imagined. His company had grown into a multi-million-dollar success, and he lived comfortably with his wife Vanessa in a beautiful home outside Dallas. Despite his success, he always treated me with love and respect. He called regularly, visited often, and never forgot special occasions. That year he insisted on hosting a huge Mother's Day celebration. The house was packed with relatives. My grandchildren ran through the hallways carrying handmade cards and flowers. The dining table was covered with food, decorations, and framed family photos from years past. Looking around the room, I felt incredibly fortunate. At my age, many people spend holidays alone. I was surrounded by people I loved. Dinner was wonderful. Everyone shared stories, laughed about old memories, and enjoyed the evening. Jason sat beside Vanessa smiling proudly as he listened to family members praise the event. Then just as dessert arrived, everything changed. Jason raised his glass and looked at me. "Mom, I have always wanted to ask, do you like the $5,000 Vanessa gives you every month?" I froze. For a moment I thought I had misunderstood him. Around the table, several relatives smiled, assuming he was talking about some private family arrangement. Then I slowly placed my fork down. "Jason, what $5,000? The smile disappeared from his face. Across from me, Vanessa turned completely pale. The room became silent. Jason laughed nervously. "The money I send Vanessa every month, the money she transfers to you. I started it years ago after you retired." My heart began pounding. I looked directly at my daughter-in-law. Then I looked back at my son. "Jason," I said quietly, "I have never received any money from Vanessa." Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The only sound in the room was the ticking clock on the wall. Vanessa immediately jumped in, claiming there must be some misunderstanding. She said perhaps there had been a banking error or a problem with the transfers, but her voice was shaking so badly that nobody believed her. For the rest of the evening, the atmosphere felt heavy. Conversations died quickly. People avoided eye contact. Vanessa barely touched her food while Jason remained unusually quiet. I could see the questions forming in his mind. The next morning he showed up at my front door before sunrise. He looked exhausted. "Mom," he said, "tell me honestly, have you ever received a single payment from Vanessa?" When I told him no, the color drained from his face. Within hours, Jason began reviewing 6 years of financial records. What he discovered destroyed his marriage. For 72 months, he had transferred $5,000 every month to Vanessa, believing she was sending it to me. Instead, every payment had been redirected into accounts she secretly controlled. More than $360,000 had vanished. Jason refused to believe it at first. He searched for another explanation, hoping there had been a mistake, but the deeper he investigated, the worse things became. The money had funded luxury vacations, designer handbags, expensive jewelry, and shopping trips that Vanessa had carefully hidden from him. The woman he trusted most had been stealing from both her husband and his elderly mother for years. And that was only the beginning.